The Aries full moon early Thursday morning is a salty, trigger-loaded mix of planetary energies, temptation, a call to action, and maybe a significant learning in something that's been hard to learn. There's lots of action, bit of a bun fight, lots of red lines. There's a nasty T-square, some volatile conjunctions, and a Grand Trine that unbridles the enthusiasm to dive into the fray. Aries is a fearless energy. It's the first sign of the zodiac, and it carries the spark that ignites the tinderbox. The first flame of passion, instinctual action, pioneering spirit, and the courage to go where others fail. Being such an independent pragmatist, Aries is a leader, not a follower. But its Achilles heel is isolation. And if there's a downside to joining the fray, it's ironically the potential to find yourself alone once the dust settles. Aries teaches you can pick yourself up and rebuild. But the pain of it is, all of the work is done alone. It's up to you. At the Libra new moon 2 weeks ago, Mars was simultaneously smothered and provoked by crappy aspects and 8 retrograde planets. Mars is a me-first war in action planet and doesn't like being in Libra, where there's pressure to think of others and even compromise. The retrogrades distorted focus and pushed simmering tensions into subconscious expression. The monster from the deep floated closer to the surface, and unfinished business reared its head out of the shadows. Mercury retrograde and a tight quincunx between Uranus and Mars, the Sun and Moon created a frequency glitch. And October the 4th, the social media mega empire, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger and WhatsApp, crashed for 6 hours, costing the company $79 million. Since then, there's been more earthquakes, more outages, and more accusations. And sorry, but New South Wales opening up from lockdown during Mercury retrograde is not auspicious timing. Now, in the lead up to the Aries full moon, Mercury will turn forward on the 19th, following on from Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, making this a week of the grand scale pivot. Things could turn around in ways you hadn't anticipated. Surprise announcements and a planetary suggestion to go in deeper with greater scrutiny has some of you spinning on the horns of a dilemma. A bunch of psychological conundrums that have plagued you in the last few months start to unpack. Aries has the beginning of a master plan, but this moon is looking for dynamite to clear the deck. The planets have hooked up in unlikely couples like a 1970s key party, and there's resistance and blundering in equal parts. It's a bit be careful what you wish for. The moon is joined with Eris, a dwarf planet and the goddess of discord. She's a rebellious creative whistleblower, heading for maximum impact to expose hypocrisy and injustice. Emotions run hot. Her brother Mars is opposite, still caught in the big shadow cast by the sun, and conjunct another dwarf planet, Haumea. Haumea is a primordial earth and fire goddess of Hawaii, who endlessly creates new form in the lava flow of volcanoes. Together, they are wild eruptions of new life breaking free from constraints. Jupiter, over in Aquarius, is sending waves of innovation and community connections that lights a path with a glimpse of the future. But oops, there's Pluto forming a T-square to the full moon, and suddenly the playground of all this growth is in the underworld. Family patterns, hidden secrets, and the odd obsession is undermining your plans. It's likely the corners of your mind will get a spot check, and with only torchlight, the fear is your instinct will impatiently lead you to false hope and conjecture. There's a frozen moment in this moon phase where you have to let go of something and reveal your vulnerability in order to move forward. Be truthful with yourself, and any hard news or betrayal can become your strength. Right out in the big picture, this is a portal for inventive new partnerships, reassessing who and what we are collectively and what we relate to in a post-truth COVID world. Pluto's at the midpoint between the Sun and Moon, marking a balance between masculine and feminine power. In the chaos, a fundamental equality is being reset. On a social level, expect revelations, protest and public exposure. There's a take it to the streets vibe with this T-square. On a personal tip, it's about holding your power rather than wielding it. This moon phase is plugged into your nervous system with a prickly irritation. It will be really hard to hide any feelings of rejection or annoyance. And we're all extra touchy, bitey, scratchy at the moment. Choose your battles carefully and watch out your ego trying to settle scores. Aim to be authentic and grounded. If you're born around the 20th of the month, you're involved in this T-square. Cancerians, you sit at the hot seat opposite, so consider any doors shutting in your face to be a blessing. Learn from experience and move on. Virgo and Taurus might get a foothold or extra support from any shake-ups going on around you. There are opportunities if you stay clear of this drama. Caps, Libra and Aries, you're ready to do something radical. You've committed, and now it just needs these pieces to fall into place. Good luck. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without a counterbalance from the universe. Mercury is charging forward in Libra after its retrograde patch. It's opposite Chiron in a direct hit. Conjunct dwarf planet Makemake, making a double dose of trickster mischief, and swept into a Grand Trine with Saturn in Aquarius and Lilith and Ceres reunited in Gemini. This is as mercurial quicksilver as it gets. Mercury is the god of connections, contracts and communication, and the fast flow of energy here can turn thoughts into matter in a flash. They're all in air signs, Gemini, Aquarius and Libra. And you guys are attracting some hyperactivity, plans coming together, and more motivation to define and refine your routine. Saturn's acting as a pressure valve, maintaining a steady pulse over any erratic bursts of new information. And this is a really good time to learn new things and follow through. Ceres and Lilith invoke a longing for connection, but also an innate ability to nurture, provide and flourish. Both of these goddesses experience periods of separation, but the positive links to Mercury and Saturn looks more like reunion and interaction, including helpful negotiations and communications. Each of the players involved in the Grand Trine have a karmic retribution aspect to them, and a sense that you get what you deserve. This kind of abundance could be a good thing or a bad thing, but Chiron is opposite Makemake and Mercury, like a stick in the spokes. This is trickster energy, and there's a conversation or a meeting that needs to happen, and the Grand Trine is opening all the sliding doors for it to happen randomly. It's an alchemical moment that parallels the bubbling undercurrent of the Pluto T-square to the full moon, bringing something you feared up closer for inspection. And that's a good thing. The T-square is pressing the buttons, and the Grand Trine opens the gates. It's up to you what you do with the energy. Dive in, step back, look up, or look within. Each move holds consequence, opportunity, or risk. But a rebirth has begun, and something inevitable is playing out. It's time to adapt. Aries is the energy that keeps its eyes on the prize and chugs away until it reaches its goal. And now the prize is clearer, even if the path is uncertain. If this was about COVID, new partnerships could mean new strains of the virus. It could also mean scientific or technological breakthroughs. The division between vaccinated and unvaxxed gets tested, and for now, people splinter off into like-minded communities without an exchange between the groups. Pretty much all the planets in the full moon T-square and the Grand Trine were bunched together in Capricorn when COVID became world news in January 2020. So there's a link between then and now. The astrological picture looks like the pandemic still has a reckoning until Pluto moves into Aquarius in 2023. And then a transformation in technology, science and community begins. But for all that, the news gets better by the end of this year, and we just have to adjust to the crunchy bit now. Whatever your choice, stay safe, hang in there. We really are all connected. I'm Merryl, and this is my mystery school. Support my channel and like, follow, share and subscribe. If you'd like to know more, go to my website www.merrylkey.com. Blessed be.